All right, so I wanted to show off my existing or surviving Generation 1 or G1 Transformers collection that I have left so far. Some of my old G1 toys were either given away, donated, or I've sold them off or passed them on to buddies. And I kind of regret doing it now, but they were all busted up toys and I felt I didn't really need them. The ones that have survived or are still in my collection are the ones that kind of have a significant emotional investment, or I've emotionally invested in these figures. That's why I didn't have the heart to sell them. So let's try and do a quick and dirty run through with these in this collection. I don't want to go into each detail of these figures because I've already done reviews of these figures separately. If you want to go check them out, please check them out on my channel, Chefatron. They're somewhere there. You can just search G1 and the name of the character. So let's begin with this guy, Omega Supreme. And as you can see, this is the only thing that's just left. Well, there's some pieces down here. I'm going to show them off later, but the ones that I really felt that epitomized Omega Supreme was his base mode rocket, which is, I think this was his alt mode in G1. So it survived. It forms his hands. And his tank mode. Yeah, so it's still pretty cool. It's all broken up. The batteries don't work anymore. I broke off the leg mechanism here. I got it for Christmas when I was a kid. I didn't bother reading the instructions, and I broke the leg assembly right here. So he kind of walks funny when I played with him. And if you want to know what's left with the rest of the pieces, this is it. There's a ton of missing pieces, and you can't really assemble the robot mode because it's missing 2 of these and 2 of these and 1 of these, and it's just a banged up toy that I just couldn't have the heart. I didn't have the heart to sell this because this is one of my first Transformers, and I really did have a lot of fun with that toy growing up, so I decided to just keep it. And who knows, maybe I'd find the other pieces, or I don't know. I'll figure out what to do with it. Next up is Trax. Now, Trax is very significant because I'm sure a lot of you know that this is the very first Transformers toy I actually had. Oh my goodness, can I still transform him? Oh, I'm gonna break him. Okay. The very, very first Transformers toy I got. My mom got him for me when I was a kid, and this really got me hooked into Transformers. And he's beat up, banged up, and oh god, I can't even transform this guy anymore. And I don't know, he's very special. I am just waiting for a chance to get another G1 Trax, a reissue, preferably Takara Tomy or Hasbro. Oh my god, he's falling all over the place. He's very significant because he's the first Autobot, first Transformer I got, and I took him around wherever I went. I played with him a lot. He was a very significant part of my childhood. I just don't have the heart to part with this one. He's beat up, banged up, and oh my goodness, he's the crappiest looking one in the lot, but I don't know, I want to keep him. He's staying in my collection till it rusts, cosmic rust gets to him. Anyway, next up is Wheeljack. This was actually my brother's, but both my brothers no longer care for toys and collectibles and all that, so I'm left with all of these things. This is Wheeljack. This is my brother's first Transformer, and I thought he turned out funny. When I was a kid and I saw him in robot mode, I was like, that's not how Wheeljack looked in the show. But the car mode looked great. He had a ton of die-cast parts, and yeah, is again, very significant part of our childhood. I really like Wheeljack. Next up is this one. This was my youngest brother's toy. It's a Pretender. A lot of you people might not know what it is, but for us oldies, Hasbro decided to make their own Transformers after exhausting all the toys that Takara Tomy or Takara had back in the 80s, they decided to make their own Transformers, and they came up with the Pretenders. There would be a robot here that transformed into a jet, and he would hide in the car. He could actually also pilot the car. You open this up, there's a cockpit right here. You can open it up. Then you could fit the robot right inside there. And that was pretty cool. I thought that this was a pretty amazing concept, but sadly, I lost all the pieces. This was his backpack. It would, if you attached it here, there would be some gears right there, and it doesn't work anymore. But these wheels, as you roll them, the cannons would just like shoot all over the place. So yeah, it was a nice toy back in the day. Unfortunately, it's busted, and I don't know, didn't have the heart to sell those. Next up, you can probably already see one right here. This is it's not a real Devastator. It's a knockoff G1 Devastator. I picked it up at a flea market, and it looks so much like the original Devastator. It feels a little bit lighter, and he tends to fall apart. It's a knockoff, but I couldn't afford the original one, so I decided to just hang on to this one and keep him as my G1 Devastator. Next up is the G1 Dinobots. Now, you guys have probably seen me review these or use these guys too many times. To this day, the G1 Dinobots are still held by a lot of collectors as one of the best Transformers ever made by Hasbro and Takara Tomy, and rightly so. These Dinobots were a favorite among collectors, and it's a shame that, I don't know if the rumors are true, but Hasbro apparently has lost the original molds that they got from Takara Tomy, and it's literally next to impossible to recreate or reissue the Dinobots, which is, to me, like, are you kidding me? All the third-party companies right now are knocking off or doing knockoffs of your toys by reverse engineering the existing toys. So, I mean, they could just go and buy. They have the money to buy and pay off a collector, or just borrow a set from a G1 collector and use modern technology right now, laser scan these things and just copy the molds, make their own new molds, and re-release the Dinobots. I don't understand why that is such a difficult thing to do for Hasbro. It's like they don't want to do the Dinobots because they don't have the original molds. And me, I'm like, just make your own molds. We have the technology right now to do so. And it's a shame because these were pretty good. Look at Sludge. Yeah, Sludge belonged to my brother. I had Grimlock. My uncle from Canada got this and brought out here to Manila, and he gave it to me for Christmas. And I was so excited. Grimlock was one of my favorite Transformers. And to this day, this mold still holds up as one of the best Grimlock molds out there. I mean, he's not superposable. He's not maybe cartoon accurate, but I don't know. I just love this figure, this Transformer. Let me see if he can still transform. Oh, I want to break a few things here and there. Okay. And I don't have his sword anymore. Why is it that everybody's always missing his sword? I do have some of his guns. Okay, missing missiles, obviously. Look at that gold chrome. It's still alive. I mean, it's still shiny and all that, despite all of these years. This toy has been kept in storage, displayed on cabinets and all that. I mean, they don't make toys like this anymore. So, yeah, I decided to keep that. Grimlock. And then Swoop. We had a Slag. We didn't have Snarl for some reason, but we had Slag. And I don't know, or Slug right now. I think he belonged to my brother, my other brother, but I think my mom gave him away, or I sold it off. I can't remember. I don't think I sold it off. I think it was given away. And it's a shame because that was one of my favorite Dinobots as well. Now we got Swoop. Swoop was okay. We had 2 of these because my folks didn't want my brothers fighting over a certain figure. Both of them wanted Swoop. So we had 2 of these. I sold one to my buddy, the more decent one. This is the more busted up one. I kept it because I thought it was pretty cool. He's always missing that beak, that Pteranodon beak, and he's lost his weapons. But look at the chrome. Look at the chrome on this figure. Still pretty cool, right? Ultra Magnus. This is my beat up Ultra Magnus. I'm sure you guys have already seen this several times. He's missing a fist for the big robot. He's got some broken pieces here and there. He still has the gun. And I believe this guy can still transform. Let me see. Oh! Oh my god. The arms are just falling apart. Maybe it's not such a good idea to transform this guy. Maybe just leave him in alt mode. Come on. Okay, so if I break him, we'll all see it on camera. Okay. I didn't have a G1 Optimus Prime back in the day, and this was the closest thing I had. I think I've said that story a million times. I wanted a G1 Optimus Prime. I couldn't get it, so the next best thing was Ultra Magnus. And for a while, you know, I was pretty happy with this one. It just hated the combined mode part because it couldn't move. It was like a solid brick. It was like a paperweight, a huge paperweight. And yeah, I mean, this is die-cast parts. It's seen better days, but yeah, this Ultra Magnus, definitely one of my favorite toys. I brought it along with me, just like Trax. I kept him, transformed him, but the plastic is just crumbling, about to crumble. I can literally feel the bristleness already, but it's still holding up. So yeah, pretty neat. Okay. And finally, my big 4 Transformers, G1 Transformers. Let's start with this guy, G1 Bumblebee. I bought this off a collector. It's not the childhood toy, but I figured, you know, I'm going to collect Transformers. You got to at least have the big, well, at least Bumblebee, the big 2 Autobots, and then Megatron or Starscream. But I didn't really care much about Starscream, so I wanted Soundwave. Soundwave was my favorite Decepticon. So my big 4, Soundwave, Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and Megatron. G1 Bumblebee, and you can clearly see right here, if I can just zoom in, just look at that. Takara Company Limited. And it says Japan, 1980 to 1984, Japan. And Japanese characters on top, which I can't read. There you go. Takara Company Limited, 1980 and oh, not 1984. I can't even read that. It's the code, I suppose. Japan, 1980. Wow. And the tires are still soft. I mean, look at that. Yeah, it's still held up. The collector really took care of this figure, and I think he gave me a good price for it. And it was like, I think I got it for under $30, and I thought that was a steal. I mean, for a G1 Bumblebee in this condition, $30 was a steal. Rub sign was still intact. Tires are okay. Die cast is still okay. And yeah, I mean, G1 Bumblebee. We have Soundwave. This is actually the Walmart exclusive reissue. I had my wife pick it up in the US. So you guys have seen this. It's nothing special. It's Soundwave and Buzzsaw. It's not an original. It's a reissue, a Walmart exclusive. Still, it is the same one that Hasbro did back in the day. It's just in newer packaging. And then we have Soundwave's Minions. We've got Frenzy, Laserbeak, Ravage, and Rumble. These are, again, Walmart exclusive reissues and not the original ones. So they were pretty cool. Decided to keep them. Those are basic 4 cassettes that Soundwave had, or Minions. If I can get a G1 Rat-Bat, I'd love one. Okay, and then we have the Encore, Transformers Encore 2007 Takara Tomy Convoy, or Optimus Prime. It says here 1995 and 2007. So obviously it's an encore. I got this at a convention. Collector was letting it go together with the Hasbro version. I had sold off the Hasbro version because I felt the Takara Tomy version was far superior because of the longer smokestacks, although they said the Hasbro version is a lot more difficult to come by right now. But I don't know, I like this one better. I like the colors of this one, the dark blue and red. So yeah, I'm sticking with this one. And then finally, probably the most important, most significant, probably my most prized G1 figure is the TF Collection number 6 Transformers G1 Megatron. You've seen me review this, I'm pretty sure. It's this is one of the G1 figures that is definitely very difficult to come by. This is obviously a reissue. I can't remember when they reissued this. Oh, made in China. I think it was in the 2000. Did they re-release this? 2000, 2001? I can't remember. But this version, I thought it was pretty impressive. I like this whole case. I picked this up from my buddy, the owner of R Toys. He was letting go of his G1 Megatron, and that molding says Takara, made in China. Yeah, definitely one of my favorites, and it's not the best looking Megatron figure out of all the Megatron figures we've seen, but certainly one of the more significant ones, and definitely one of the more difficult ones to come by. And as such, I really treasure this one. Probably not letting him go for a long time, especially this G1. And I figured, you know, it was like 5 years ago, I think, or 4 years ago, that I picked that one up, and I decided, you know, if you're going to be a Transformers collector, you have got to at least have the G1 Optimus Prime and Megatron, and I felt I had to do that. I had to spend some money just to get it, just to have it in my collection, and I did. And of course Soundwave was my favorite, so I had to invest in that, and the others I just kept. So there you go. That is my humble Generation 1 Transformers collection. Let me know in the comments what you think of these figures. You think they're still worth keeping? You think I should let them go, donate them, or, you know, pass them on to another collector? Or should I just hang on to them for posterity's sake and sentimental value? I really enjoyed these figures. They were part of my childhood. Let me know in the comment section what you think of them. And as always, hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. If it's your first time here, please subscribe. If you want to help the channel out, please check out my Patreon account. There's a link in the description box below. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for staying till the very end of the video. I just wanted to wish everybody a very happy Easter, and I hope everybody is just staying safe, spending some quality time with your loved ones. Cherish every moment you got. And if you're going to go on a hunt for some new collectibles, new toys, make sure you're safe. Make sure you plan it, and I just hope you guys are enjoying what you're doing. Until next time, thanks for watching.